Our next speaker will be Moira, and Liz will be the evaluator. Liz, if you could stand up and give us Moira's objectives.
Moira's objectives tonight is she'll be speaking from the Confident Communicator Manual. She'll be giving her first speech, the icebreaker. The objectives this evening is for Moira to begin speaking before an audience and to discover speaking skills that she already has and skills that need some attention. Time is 4 to 6 minutes.
Thank you. Moira is from Franconia. She is giving her first speech tonight. Moira, 13.1 and counting, 13.1 and counting, Moira. Thank you.
Last Saturday, I laced up my sneakers, opened the front door, and the fresh air rushed in. I could smell the mud and the earth and just a taste of rain. I dashed down the steps and down the driveway to run a loop that I've done so many times I could do it with my eyes closed. As I ran, I looked down at my shoes, at the sneakers on my feet, and thought about when I bought them. I purchased them in January 2009. It was a time when I decided to make a resolution. I decided I need to exercise regularly and get in shape. That's a resolution a lot of people make in January. But I knew that for me, making a resolution wasn't enough. I also needed a plan and a goal. So, a few days later, I was sitting at the hairdresser's flipping through a magazine, and it was called More Magazine. It's a women's magazine geared for women 40 and over. I came to a section full of glossy photographs that showed real women, like me, age 40 and over, who had completed a marathon or a half marathon. I thought, wow, a marathon would be a lot, but maybe a half marathon, that could be my goal. Of course, I needed a plan. There in the magazine, there was a plan. There was a plan for getting from your couch to 13.1 miles in 16 weeks. I thought, okay, I have a plan and I have a goal. So I read more about the event coming up that was sponsored by the magazine. It was a race that took place in New York City on April 26th, 2009. So I thought, New York City, Central Park, this is exciting. I love being in the backwoods now, but I did live in New York City at one time, and I thought it would be a lot of fun to visit. When I go to visit New York, I love it. I feel the energy is like a tonic that I just drink up, and I love the diversity of people and the pleasure of being in the city. Not only that, I have a sister, Liz, who lives in New Jersey, not far from the city, so I thought, hey, I could visit her and do this race. Now I just needed a training partner, somebody to help me through this. So I called my other sister, my sister Kate. She lives in Massachusetts, and to my surprise, she agreed to be my training partner. I couldn't believe it. Now I had a goal, a plan, a training partner. So I joined the gym in January so that I could start running on the treadmill during those long, cold winter days. And I checked in with my sister pretty often. We talked on the phone, we checked in, we checked our miles, and she'd call and say, so did you do your 4-mile run? And I'd say, yep, and we'd agree to do a longer run on the weekend, and so it went. We did our running, and April 26th was coming up, but there was a little bit of a problem. I hadn't actually signed up for the race yet. I wasn't truly confident that I could do 13.1 miles. I really wasn't. But I kept telling myself, well, when I get to that 8-mile run, then I'll know I can do it. So I did. I completed my 8-mile run. I came inside, went to the computer, logged on, clicked the button to enter the race, and the race was full. I was crushed. I was like, what am I going to do now? Oh, I called my sister. She'd signed up right away and was officially in the race already. I felt terrible. This was my plan, and I didn't know what to do. So I decided I had to keep trying. I had to keep training. So I worried and I trained and tried to figure out what to do. The date grew closer, and I decided to just go for it. So on Friday, April 24th, I got in the car, drove to Massachusetts, picked up my sister, and we kept right on going to New Jersey. Got to New Jersey late Friday night, and on Saturday, my sisters and I spent the day in the city. And one thing I forgot to tell you earlier was that I realized when I set this goal that I could actually achieve 3 goals by doing this race. And one of them was to get in shape. One of them was to make a plan, stick to it, and complete a half marathon. And the third goal, when I realized I had a training partner, was to spend time with my sisters. So on Saturday I spent time with my sisters, and we had a great day. My sister Kate, who was officially signed up, went to the headquarters, got her goodie bag full of all the things they give you for a race, including her official number and a timing device for her shoe. Well, we went back to my sister's house in New Jersey that night. My brother-in-law did a little Photoshop magic. We scanned my sister's number, rearranged the numbers a little bit, printed one out, and voila! I had a number 2. So my brother-in-law had foresight to cover both sides with the printer paper with Scotch tape so it wouldn't disintegrate, which was really a good thing. I was still really anxious though, because on the website when I'd gone to sign up, I read about the dire consequences of running races illegally. The race was co-sponsored by the New York Roadrunners Club, and they said that they would throw you out, or that you may never be able to race in one of their sponsored races ever again. And I was still really anxious. I don't like to break the rules, and yet I really wanted to do this. So the next morning, early Sunday morning, we got to Central Park. We all went to the city, and my anxiety subsided when I saw the crowd of people. There were 7,000 people entered in this race. Oh. And no one gave a second glance to my fake number that I had pinned to my shirt. So my sister and I were standing in this massive rows and rows of people waiting for the race to start. And as we waited, the temperature went up. It got really hot, and they decided to cancel the marathon. But they decided to just do a half marathon, and they weren't going to time it. I didn't mind, since I didn't have that device on my shoe anyway. So we both were in the race together the whole way, 2 loops through Central Park, past baseball diamonds and apple blossoms, and they were spraying us with water and giving us cups of Gatorade, and we ran most of the way together. My sister even accused me of being perky at mile 12. I don't know if I really was, but she finally said, "Why don't you just sprint ahead?" So I did at the end. I crossed the finish line, and I was exhilarated. And like every other legal competitor, I got one of these. I felt a sense of accomplishment because I had achieved the 3 goals I set out to accomplish. I got in shape. I set a goal of completing a 13.1-mile half marathon, and I did it, and I also spent time with my sisters. Now I hope that I can find the inspiration to move on to my next goal, and 13.1 and counting toward my next plan and my next goal. Thank you.